Good morning and welcome to our Daily Word and Prayer. My name's Tom Short. So glad to have you along on this Monday morning, a new week. And we come here and get in the Word every day, and it's usually a Bible study. We've been working our way through Hebrews 11 recently, but as you know, if you come here at all regularly, I lost my wife suddenly, unexpectedly, painlessly, I believe, and so sadly last Thursday. We're probably, about 80 hours into this journey now or so. It was such a shock. And I've decided to spend a few days, at least, trying to share with you my faith, my grief journey. And I think a lot of you have been very grateful for that. You have been appreciative of it. I've thought why to do it. You know, some people have said, Tom, just take a break. And I've considered doing that. But I find there's 4 reasons I'm doing this. I'll give them to you quickly. Number one, first of all, why am I doing this and not just going through Bible study? This is all I can think about. Preparing for the other time, like say going through Hebrews 11, that takes some time, and my mind is kind of focused right now. This is all that's on my mind, all I'm thinking about. That's why I'm talking about this grief journey. Number 2, though, this really helps me process. I think it's good to journal. It's good to talk. I think if you are in grief, it's important to be able to identify what are you thinking, what's going through your mind, what's going through your soul, what's going through your heart. It helps to talk it out, and it helps to write it out. And I'm doing both. I am journaling, but also, of course, Roz is the one I'd always talk to, and verbally process things. So she's not here. I'm talking to you and verbally processing with you. And I know you're not giving me the feedback, but you all are real good listeners right now. We'll put it that way. Number 3, it lets people know how I'm doing. A lot of people are asking, Tom, how you doing? I've been asked that question 100 times recently. Tom, how you doing? And this is something that allows you to know how I'm doing and enter into my life, because I know a lot of you care about me, love me, and so forth. And fourth, I hope that what I'm processing and how I'm trying to learn how to grieve well, I think I need to learn how to do that. It's probably not natural for me. I'm kind of an optimist. I try and see the good side of things, and maybe it's more difficult for me to learn to really get through a negative process or sad suffering like this. So I'm trying to learn to grieve well, and I hope that what I'm learning can help you. Yesterday I talked or received emails from people who, one fella he's grieving over a divorce. And that's a tremendous, we grieve over loss. For me, Roz died. For him, he lost his wife, and how this has affected his family and his relationship and his loneliness at night and motivation to live and what does he want to, all of these things. It's the same thing. It's loss, and it can be paralyzing. It can be devastating. His wasn't a death, but it was a divorce. And then I received an email from a longtime friend of mine. He recalled having dinner with Roz and I like when we were very first married. And his parents had Alzheimer's, and his wife now has Alzheimer's, has just deteriorated terribly. For 6 years, he has been a full-time caregiver of his parents and wife as he's seen them deteriorate. And that's a different type of grief. That's a long term. I said, like, I'm first or second grade, and you're in grad school when it comes to suffering and grief and the long term. And of course, he's probably so busy caring for me. He's going to have the time to grieve. My bottom line is this. We all face suffering. We all face unexpected things. We all face difficulties. And sometimes they just require us to know how to grieve and our suffering. So that's why I'm sharing this journey. And I don't know, I might or might not have something to share tomorrow, but I'm going to share you about today. So I woke up this morning, got a 4 hours sleep, which is fine for me. That's what I normally get. But I usually then just wake up for a bit, use the bathroom, read for a while. Read a little bit and go back to bed. There was a little bit less motivation for me to crawl back in bed now, if you know what I mean. And so I got up this morning early, about 4:30 or so, and was enjoying my day. And I was feeling good. I was really feeling good. And I thought, wow, maybe God's been gracious and I've kind of gotten over this, and maybe I'm really ready to move forward and everything. I was feeling good. I started looking at, our funeral arrangements, and I found out you can buy a casket online. And let me tell you, you can buy a casket online and have it delivered to the funeral home. That's a legal right we have here in America. And the funeral home seems to mark them up like 200%, 300%, 400%. So that's a lot of money. I was feeling good discovering this, and I was, my mind was kind of moving forward, and I thought, well, maybe I'm doing fine. And then they say that grief can hit you unexpectedly like a wave, and I was doing a little research. A rogue wave is one that comes out of nowhere, and it's a big one, or a tsunami. And I will say that since waking up this morning, I've already had 2 to 3 tsunamis, rogue waves that hit me. I'm not over this. And I don't know, I walked by and see her flowers, walking and praying, and see her flowers outside, and I just lost it. Or saw a picture, the picture I posted on today's thumbnail with that beautiful smile she has, and I, just lose it. So in this process, it's up and down. There's waves, and I want to encourage you, if you're grieving, expect that. But I want to also say, expect some times of stability and happiness to be mixed in there. And why was I feeling good, and what am I doing that's helping me through this? Well, first of all, I'm going to give you 2 or 3 things here that have helped me. Number one, we went to church yesterday. And there was more than one person said to me, well, I'm surprised to see you here, or I'm glad you came today, as if they thought I would not be in church because I was sad and grieving, and I wouldn't want to be out in public with others. And it's kind of struck me, folks, don't go to church just when you got it all together. Lots of people don't go to church when they most need it. Now, I encourage you to go to church every week. I encourage you to be involved in fellowship and get connected into a church. Not just attend it, but to get connected. But sometimes people think I only go to church when they're already feeling good, and they can put on a good face and they'll look fine and everything like that. Folks, it's when you're the most needy, that's when you really need to go to church, and you need to allow God to minister to you. Now, I understand this. Our church is usually pretty upbeat and happy. And I could have felt yesterday like, I don't want to be upbeat and happy. I'm sad. I don't want them singing songs to a troubled heart. I could have thought that. But I said, no, I'm going to church. I'm going to church. I need to be with God's people. I need to let people minister to me. I need to get my mind on God. I'm glad I went, by the way, because my daughter and her husband and my daughter and her family and my son and their family go to that church. So there's 10, 15 of us, 10, 12, 15 of us from our family go to the church. And the pastor really designed the whole service for us. He changed the whole thing, and he talked about grieving, he talked about sadness, he talked a lot about Roz. The whole service was to honor, it wasn't her funeral, but to honor, much of it to honor her and to learn lessons. And we're glad we were there. We would have felt terrible had we missed it. But I put myself in a position to be ministered to. I allowed people to do that. And I think this is one of my first points here, is I allow others to help me. I've put myself in a position to be helped. Sometimes we need help. We need someone to encourage us. We need someone to care for us. We need someone to just put their arm around us. And there's no shame in admitting that. We need to humble ourselves. We need to acknowledge our need and let people minister to us. And sometimes, we say, I want to be strong. Well, yeah, okay, be strong, but that doesn't mean you're not hurting. That doesn't mean you don't, that your strength does not mean you've got to be strong doesn't mean you can be independent and you don't need others. We do need others. And I thought of this in this position of letting others help me. My goodness, I have received so many words of condolence, of support, of care, of tears, of people sharing their grief with me. So many people have hugged me in my neighborhood, in my church, online, figuratively. So many people have done this. And it strikes me, when I say I put myself in this position, folks, we're all going to have tough times in life. And part of what I want to say today is to be prepared for them. And one way we prepare ourselves for people to come help us in our time of need is that we help others in their time of need. Does that make sense? The people who are reaching out to me and showing me such love and prayers and compassion and sharing in my grief, they're people who have received from me. They're people who I have shown love to them. Now, maybe I wasn't there to grieve with them about something, but I've blessed their life. I've benefited. I've served them. I've loved them. And now in my time of need, they're loving me back. They're returning that love. In Scripture, just a verse that I don't mean for this to be hard to share with you or as a rebuke, but listen. The Bible says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever man sows, this he'll also reap. Sometimes we expect to sow nothing and reap a great harvest. We expect to give nothing to others and expect in our time of need they're going to give to us. Sometimes we deceive ourselves in thinking that we were giving them something we weren't. Folks, part of life, this is just a life lesson. I did not serve people with the idea that someday I'm going to expect them to serve me. I serve them out of love. I serve them out of love for God. I care about people. I want to teach them the Word. I want to be there for them. I want to do things like that. I didn't do it expecting anything in return. But when the time has come now and I need a return, I'm getting it. I'm reaping love in return. I'm reaping kindness. I'm reaping people who are expressing care for me in some really, really personal, wonderful, sweet ways. And I know some of you, many of you. And so what am I saying? Well, I mean, if I could put it in economic terms, and I hate to put it this way, but pay your dues now if you want to collect the insurance later. Pay your premiums. Don't do it in order to get a return. Do it out of live a life of love. It'll benefit you in the end. Live a life of love. Give to others. Care for others. Be there for others. And you'll find in your time of need, they'll be there for you. Some people, I think, in their suffering, they're so alone. It's like they're alone and it's like nobody cares. And if you feel that way, my friend, listen, it's meant as an admonishment. I don't want to make you feel bad, but did you care for others in their time of need? Or were you too busy or too self-centered? And it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. Yesterday I asked if I could speak to our church. I said, listen, we have been committed to our church and now we're receiving back. See, some of you, that's not a rebuke, but some of you wander in and out of church. You're not really involved. You go to one church for a while and then another church for a while and you just move around to what you feel like you like. You're not really getting rooted there. You're not really developing relationships. You're not serving. And so when your time of need comes, will people be there for you? I don't know. But I'll tell you, they've been there for us. And I think one reason is because they appreciate the years and years Roz and I cared for them. Make sense? Your time will come someday. You might be in it now. Reach out to others. Love others. Take the first steps, and you'll find it comes back upon you, okay? Second thing I was thinking is, oh my goodness, all the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things people are saying about Roz online. I am blown away. I'm just like wrecked with how many people from 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago are saying, I remember this conversation I had. I remember her smile. I remember the light, how she lit up. I remember how she told me something firm, but she is so kind. She is so loving, and I just touched my heart. And it made me think something when we talk. I'm talking about preparing now, just like I'm talking the second thing, preparing, sowing and reaping. And the question I want to ask you is, I've been thinking about this the last several years because I'm getting older, and I've been asking, who do I want to really build into the people I think will miss me when I'm gone, more than just for a week or two, but they'll miss me at Christmas time. They'll cry over me at various times, not just for a week or two. But secondly, what do you want people to say about you? Normally I'd say, what do you want them to say in the eulogy? But in this area of social media, what do you want them to say about you online? Do you want to have like a couple hundred posts on Facebook about people remembering something that you did for them? Obviously, we don't want people to say nasty things about us. I'm glad they're gone, something like that. But if you want people to say nice things about you, and if that's what you'd like, now's the time you got to be living that. Now's the time you reach out and serve and care and love other people so that when you do die, you'll be missed. People will grieve over you. People will remember, they'll feel something missing in their life because they're missing you, and you were important, and how do you become important? You love people. That's what you do. You love people. And I'm just, like he's saying, I'm experiencing the downside of love right now, or the opposite side, the other side. I don't know how to say it. But Roz and I, she loved me so well, and I loved her so much, and I believe like half my soul is gone. My better half was torn away. I feel this pain. But the pain is evidence of how much how much we loved one another for these last 48 years or so, over 48 years. It's God's way to love one another, to love people, to love of Christ, and to be active in it, not to just feel it, but to do something, to act. Jesus loved us, and God demonstrates his love for us. That while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Jesus acted on his love. And my friends, don't be reclusive. If you're suffering now, break out. What do you say? What do I do? You're maybe falling into depression. How do you get out of it? Go love somebody. And I'm not saying go get a date. I mean, go serve somebody. Go be kind to somebody. Go do something to make someone else's life a little bit happier. That's how you get out of your depression. That's how you break out of the downward spiral. Go do something for someone else. And you'll find, there's a woman on here who she was depressed back in 2020 when everything was a mess, the COVID and elections and riots and everything. And she was so depressed. And she said that one day she was in the store and God gave her the idea of buy some flowers and give them to somebody. And she did. She bought some flowers and she just gave them to a stranger, and that stranger's face lit up and the giver's face lit up. And she began to do this. She became known in that part of Minneapolis as the flower lady. And people began to know about her as she would give away flowers. And she told me, she said, Tom, I was stuck in depression. And it was when I started giving flowers to people that I got out of it. Listen, connect with people, love people, reach out to people. Others have helped me so much, and I let them help me. Secondly, I want to say, though, in preparing for that day that's coming your way, what do you want people to post about you on Facebook when you're gone? What do you want them to say at your eulogy? Start to live today in light of that. And that'll lift you out of your depression. That'll give your life meaning in an important way. I mean, what do you want to say? You made a lot of money? Is that what you want them to say about you? Do you want them to say that you're a good athlete? I want them to say, he really loved me. I remember a time when he gave me something. He encouraged me. He cared about me. He said something that lifted my... I want people to say about me when I'm gone that I did something to benefit their life and help them. Okay, hey, quick announcements. We won't know till later today when the cemetery can actually bury Roz, so we think the funeral will be Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., but that's got to be confirmed when the cemetery opens today, and they can talk to the office. Visiting hours are going to be Monday night, 5 to 8, Linworth Road Church in Columbus, Ohio. The funeral will be sometime Tuesday morning. We don't know exactly. There'll be some visiting hours before that for those who can only come in on Tuesday from out of town or whatever. But we encourage Monday night. We expect a lot of people. A special thing, Roz loved flowers. She was a gardener. And a special thing is it's going to be arranged that I think we're encouraging people to bring some flowers from your garden. Roz and I would walk every day, and and she'd always notice people's flowers in the neighborhood. Those are beautiful. Oh, look at those. Oh, I love those colors. I'd be talking about, something else, and she just always noticed the flowers. And so one thing we're going to do is we're asking, if you're local, there's going to be a flower bar there for people who need that or don't have their own flowers. But if you got some flowers from your yard, cut a few, make a little bouquet, and bring that along, and we're going to display those in the visitation hours. Bring it Monday night if you come. Bring it whenever you come. And we hope to fill this place with cut flowers from people's lawns, from people's yards. That would be the type thing that Roz would walk by and notice. Thank you. I think I'm going to have to call today. God bless you. Love you all. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.